Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with a paper pumpkin alternative for scrapbookers. So I have a paper pumpkin group on Facebook called Paper Pumpkin Groupies, and we've talked a little about scrapbooking and how there are very few alternative projects for scrapbookers. And so I had created a scrapbook layout for my girls using the March Paper Pumpkin Kit. So you can see it here. It's just a one-page layout, and in keeping with Paper Pumpkin's kind of mantra, I've kept it fairly simple. For those of you who scrapbook paper crafting in general, you know that you can get as simple or as intricate as you want. But for this particular series, I'm going to keep it relatively simple and try to use as much of the kit contents as possible with as few extras as possible. Okay, so that way they're easily reproduced. Okay, so this is March's page, and I've already got it completed. As you can see, I don't have any pictures in here because I don't have any pictures that go with the kind of rain boots theme just yet. However, I'm working on it. So we've got some rainy days coming up, and so I'm hoping that maybe I'll get a couple of cute pictures and I'll be able to put them in my page. Alright, so here's what I've done. I've got the Pleased as Punch background paper, and that's the lovely little raindrops here. They're absolutely beautiful and perfect with the March kit. And then I've layered So Saffron with Whisper White cardstock. And then this is that gray granite textile ribbon from the annual catalog. And so I have another picture spot here. And this is a banner that came from the kit, and I've stamped it with the basic gray Let Love Grow from the kit also. And then, of course, you recognize the boots, and I stamped them, and then stamped the green, and then fussy cut around each boot and layered them kind of haphazardly like that. And then I used one of the beautiful rainbow of color of rain boots to stick here. And then, of course, you see the little bunny as well. Super cute. And this is one of the, what is that die set called? It's from the So Sentimental Bundles. Stitch So Sweetly, that's it. One of the Stitch So Sweetly rectangles. And it's got a little piece of the baker's twine from the kit in it as well. Now, I've left plenty of room for photos, so I typically do 4x6 photographs, and so I've left 2 4x6 spaces open. At this point, I have the ability to either replace the white cardstock or use it as another matte layer and trim my photos to 3 7/8 by 5 7/8 or whatever I want to do there. This little banner is just kind of tacked on for right now, so it's at a place where I could easily lift it and put my photo and then put this down over the top, and the same with the boots. And then I like the little circle because, you know, there are times when you take a photograph and the subject matter is this much of the photo and you have a lot of background. And when you're doing a scrapbook layout, sometimes you've already got that background in other photos, so you don't really need another photo of the background. So you can cut your focus out here and then just have it in this nice little dimensional section itself. And then I plan to use this beautiful little petal pink scalloped rectangle to put my journal box in. So there is March's layout. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for every single month, but I will try, so that way we can have at least a scrapbook layout. So with that in mind, when I opened the video, I had the February kit instruction sheet in my hand, and that's because I'm going back now, and I want to do a scrapbook layout for the February kit. And I've already got my layout fairly well worked out, and I've got some of the elements already done, but I wanted to finish it with you and show you what it's going to look like. So I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz 12 by 12 cardstock, and I've taken the big floral stamp and some Versamark, and I've stamped across the top and the bottom. And I didn't stamp in the middle because it's going to be covered and it doesn't matter. And then I've taken this piece of, I think it's 6" by 12. Yes, 6" by 12 from the Woven Threads Designer Series paper. And I'm going to layer it right about there. Okay, so let's just go ahead. Come on, tape. Don't fail me now, snail. Alright, so we'll just tack it. And we're going to put it right about here. Now, I want it a little closer to south than north. And I'm just going to line it up edge to edge. So just like that. Okay, and then I've got just a few little elements left from the kit. So I've taken one of the purple card leftover fronts. I had a piece of it and I cut a bunch of little elements. You can see behind this tag, behind this tag. They're all very small strips, by the way. I mean, they're just very small scraps of what I have left. And I had a piece, you can see where I've cut the two rectangular stitched pieces out of, because I wasn't sure if maybe I would need some more of it. And, you know, this is all valuable real estate back here. So, again, I've got a 4x6 photo, and then I've got this piece matted behind it. And I'm planning to put it right about there. And then I have this sentiment banner, "You're a Great Reason To," and one of these foam raised up copper foil pieces. These were really pretty. I hadn't seen anything like this in our paper pumpkin kit before, and they were just gorgeous. I loved them. But we're going to use it to do this. So we'll say, "You're a great reason to celebrate." All right. I like that. And then I'm going to put this is a 3 by 5. It's actually 3 1/4 by, well, let's see. Because I think I originally cut this 3 1/2 by 5, but then this piece I had left over and it was just under. So let's see. The white piece is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So it's a little shorter than 5 inches. But anyway, it fits inside the little scalloped rectangle piece, and you'll be able to trim a photo down, so it won't matter. And then I'll have it roughly, I don't know, we'll see, somewhere in this area. And then I've got another one of the banner pieces that I'm going to stick right about here, and I think this will have either a date or a person's name, because this is going to be a birthday layout. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 3 1/2 inch square, and I've got it right about here. So I'll put my happy birthday banner down here. And I've got two little pieces. These are 1/2 inch by, I think it was 3 inches, and I cut it to 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. So this one's 1 1/4, this one's 1 3/4. And then just dovetailed the ends and made a little tab. Oh my goodness, excuse me about that. I should have muted my phone. Okay, and so I'll put that little tab right there. And then I have one of the flowers left over, which I'm not sure how I managed that. I'm guessing that I had another card project in mind and I didn't get around to it, so all's fair in love and leftovers. And so I'm gonna snatch it up and I'm going to put it right about there. And then I have another little circle piece. Now this is a negative from the card. So if you did your card, it was the piece that came out of this area right here. And so I will pop it up and it'll go right about there. So I'm thinking that this is my layout. And I still have a few of the sequins left, so I may dabble a few of them on. But anyway, let's attach this and see how it goes. All right. I can't believe I forgot to mute my phone. Well, it's because I wasn't necessarily planning on doing a video right now, but I was playing with this kit and I thought, you know what, I bet it would be good for everyone to see how I'm doing this, so that way you can do your own. So this is kind of an impromptu video, but I wanted to share this with you because there are a lot of scrapbookers out there, and I find I used to scrapbook a lot, but I find that I gravitate more towards my cards and 3D projects now than I used to. Alright folks, is that straight? It looks straight from over here. So I kind of neglect my scrapbooking, which is awful because I still take tons of photos and they just sit in the cloud. So if the cloud can just make up some photo albums for me, then it would be very generic and not uber personal, which would be super sad, but at least the pictures would be in the book. Alright, now I'm going to eventually pop this up on dimensionals, but since I don't have a sentiment or a name or a date or anything on there yet, I'm going to just leave that. And basically what I will do is put a tiny little dot of snail adhesive so that I can tack it down where I want it to go temporarily. Alright, so I don't have this photo spot set up yet, so let me just go ahead and do that before I put that sentiment strip on. Okay, and I think we liked it here, but I don't want it to be centered, so I want it to go a little farther north than south. And basically, when you're doing this, just kind of a quick tip about design, and I'm certainly not a pro by any means, but when you center everything, it looks very uniform and clean, and that's a really pretty look. However, that's not really what I'm going for here. So while I do want my lines to be straight, I don't want my lines to be lined up, if that makes sense. So we're just a little farther south on this layer and then a little farther north on this layer. And so that just kind of helps the flow of the card, or of the scrapbook page, okay? See, I'm so used to doing cards that I just said card and didn't even think. Alright, now on this one, what I'm eventually going to do here, let's see. I planned to staple this banner piece, the little flags, to this card, and I have my handy dandy swing line stapler that has some copper colored staples in it, and so I thought that would look very cute. But then I realized I can't do that yet because I don't have a photo on here yet, so I will go ahead and mount this to the scrapbook page, but then I'll do the same thing like I did here with just a little dot of snail adhesive to hold it in place temporarily. And that way when I'm ready, it will be ready and I can staple it onto the photo. Alright, so go ahead, and do this. And then I want it to be not even with this, because remember, we want our lines to be straight, but we don't want them to be in line. So, and I'm going to be a little farther south than north on here. So I'll just go right about there, and let's make sure that's still going to work, and it will. And we're not centered with that one, so I think that's going to be good. So we'll put that there. I want that to be a little farther down, so we'll go right there. We are almost finished with this page, my friends. I hope that you like this. I've been thinking for a while about starting a little scrapbook club. I hadn't really put too many details in mind just yet, but let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you're a scrapbooker and if you would be interested in a regular scrapbooking club. And if there's enough interest, then I would certainly be interested in doing it. So, okay, now also with this piece, because I know I want to pop it up on dimensionals as well, once again, I'm just going to put a tiny little spot just to hold it. Right about there. Okay. And then I can go ahead, you know what, I can't really attach this either because it's going to overlap the picture. So what I'll do is take this little dimensional and the backing, and I'm just going to shift the backing just slightly. So there's just a tiny little tacky spot there, and I can set it down where I want it, and it'll stay put for now. Now, every element of my scrapbook page is attached in some way, either temporarily or permanently, and it leaves me the opportunity to be able to fill in my spaces with pictures and then put my sentiment or caption or date or whatever in there. Alright guys, there you have it. This is the February Paper Pumpkin Lovely Day layout for the alternative project for the Paper Pumpkin kit. And then I had just shown you the March 2020 No Matter the Weather alternative Paper Pumpkin scrapbook layout. So stay tuned for others. I have the January I'll Be Yours kit out on my counter, so I'll see if I can get around to getting something worked up with that one in the next day or two. So stay tuned for more of those, and I hope that you enjoyed these. If you did, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and click the little bell so that you don't miss any notifications. And if you know scrapbookers or paper crafters who aren't already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to share my channel with them so that we can all enjoy crafting together. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.